City Limits, the show that provides you with information about the people, places, and events that shape the character of our community. Tonight we're going to talk about a study that was done about North County and its implications to all of us that live up here in North County. Joining me tonight is Rebecca Zoll, President of North County Incorporated, and Dr. Mark Tranel. Mark, he's Public Policy Research, Director of the Public Policy Research Center at UMSL.
Correct.
Correct, and you can explain what that is because I'm sure a lot of people don't know. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Mayor. Nice. Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. Let's start with a little bit about North County Incorporated. It's been around for about 35 years, hasn't it?
We have. We actually were founded about 35 years ago in 1977, and we were founded by a group of business and community leaders who wanted a very strong advocacy organization for the North St. Louis County communities, and leaders that really believed in the region and wanted a strong regional development catalyst for the area.
Well, that's good. Now, how are you, you're an association, are you governed by a board of directors?
Yes, absolutely. We are governed by a board of directors, 51 board of directors that are community, civic, and business leaders, everyone from the presidents of our local hospitals, along with municipal mayors like yourself. I know you've been one of our board members for many years, and your service, of course, is appreciated, as well as, leaders like Mark here from the Public Policy Research Center, and banking leadership, small business leadership, and even some of the faith-based community. Because when we try to look at regional issues, we want to hear from everyone that an issue impacts, so that then when we bring collaborative partnerships together to work on that issue, they can do so in a very cohesive and collaborative manner for the good of everyone.
Okay. What is the focus? Seems like it's wide range. Then you're in education, you're in business, you're in economic development. What other areas do you cover?
Well, we are an economic and community development association. So basically, we focus in a few key areas. One being, of course, economic and development and the business climate of the area, as well as education, healthcare, transportation issues, and we also work on marketing. North St. Louis County is just a great place to live and do business.
Yeah, a lot of people unfortunately don't know much about North County, and they think, oh, North County. But I think we're going to prove, as we proceed with this show, that there's a lot of opportunities here in North County. One of the other things that you're involved in a lot is on highway and development of the highways, and like the 270 corridor study now that's going on?
Right, absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. One of the projects that we've been involved with, Mark, how long has it been? 4 years, 5 years now?
5 or 6.
As an advocacy organization is the I-270 corridor, because it is a key corridor through our community, and the number of people that travel through our area is just tremendous, and it has huge economic potential. And so we are working with the Missouri Department of Transportation to look at that corridor and study it and try to look at issues like safety and access issues, but also long-term, what is the best way to make transportation improvements along the corridor that will truly sort of spur some economic growth in that area and hopefully long-term job creation.
That's good. Now, one of the other things a lot of people don't realize when you talk about an organization like yours, they think instantly economic development, but it's not only that. You also deal with the quality of life in North County, and for the residents in North County, i.e. the MSD studies, the Coldwater Creek studies, and everything else you guys have been dealing with for years and trying to get a consensus of what we should do and try to bring the players together. Is that correct?
That is correct. And again, one of our strengths as an advocacy organization, and because of the way we're made up, our board is made up and our membership is made up from so many different businesses, hospitals, school districts, municipal leaders. Because of that makeup, it does allow us to look at multiple issues and again, try to bring solutions to the table that will best serve the the businesses in the area, but the residents as well, because we want people to enjoy the quality of life here. We have so many benefits and so many assets in North County, and we want to keep our community strong and viable for years and years to come.
Sounds great. Now, Mark, I bet you thought I was going to forget you.
Nope.
I didn't forget you here. Let's start talking about the community economic profile that University of Missouri, the Public Policy Research Center put together. And this was a collaborative effort between some businesses and the center. Is that correct?
Well, it was funded by participation from businesses in the community. We worked with North County Incorporated, and as Rebecca was saying, because it is a comprehensive organization, we wanted to have their input as far as what kind of information would be most useful.
Okay, and this basically was about the economy, about the employers, the tax rates, the business potential for North County?
Well, if I might
correct?
use our little prop here, we had an actual product. The development profile is one of the main things that we wanted to put together. This kind of information never existed for North St. Louis County before, because North St. Louis County is not itself any kind of a separate jurisdiction. There are a lot of data that are available, census data, business data, that are available at the level of a county, like at the level of St. Louis County, at the municipal level, at the level of zip codes, census tracts, but North County is not any one of those individual jurisdictions, so nobody had had the opportunity before to assemble data for North County Incorporated service area, and the area we define as North St. Louis County is everything north of Page Avenue. And we never really before had the opportunity to put together economic information specific to that entire geography. So we went to the Bureau of Economic Analysis database, and were able to assemble information on employers and employees, employee wages, that kind of information for North St. Louis County.
Okay. And as you compare North County with St. Charles County and with St. Louis City, how does North County fare?
North County is, when you again look at that entire geography, at the time that we did the study in 2010, it was 2010 data that we were working with. At that time, North St. Louis County, in terms of population, was larger than the population of St. Charles County, larger than the population of the city of St. Louis. So more housing units, favorably compare in terms of an economic base as far as number of jobs. So when you again have the opportunity to pull out the numbers for the area of North St. Louis County, it is a real strong contributor to the overall economy of the St. Louis region.
Okay. As far as housing units, we have more housing units. I'm looking at a chart here too while we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
We have more housing units. We have
Well, particularly single-family housing units.
yeah, okay, correct. Single-family housing units. We're the second largest owner-occupied housing units, which is real important for stability.
Correct.
The payroll is approaching St. Louis City, and you know, if they really know how the sales tax in the state of Missouri works and the revenue that goes to the state of Missouri, St. Louis County is the economic engine. And you know, North County was $8.2 billion, in St. Louis City, and during the time of the study was $11 billion, so it was very close.
Yeah, just to emphasize that, in terms of the role that St. Louis County plays, the number of jobs that are here, that payroll number is, I think, a really critical number to understand. That again was a number, that 8.2 billion was a number for North St. Louis County, not all of St. Louis County. So in terms of the number of jobs that are here, and in particular the wages that are paid. There are many good paying jobs in North St. Louis County, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to, again, we sort of had two different products here. One was the Economic Development Profile, which in some respects is kind of a picture book along with information that has utility for developers and other people interested in the area. We also did basically a data study to compare North County to other areas, to do some analysis of trends and that sort of thing. So there were different outputs from the study that we did.
You know, if I may just insert, you many times hear St. Louis County Executive Charlie Dooley say that St. Louis County is the economic engine for the state of Missouri. And when he comes to speak in our area, he just always wants the people here to know that North St. Louis County actually is the economic engine for St. Louis County. So when it comes to the sheer power, if you will, people that live here need to know we are a major player when it comes to the economic stability of the state even.
Yeah, it's amazing when you think about how big the state of Missouri is, and you know that we are the engine that drives the economy. So
Correct.
That's great. Business establishments, I just want to just briefly talk on this. We basically up here in North County, we have retail. The three major ones are retail, trade, healthcare and social assistance, and manufacturing. And we're actually still the leader in manufacturing, correct?
Well, there's a couple of key points there. One, yes, I think we often think of, when you hear manufacturing discussed, it's typically in terms of, well, all the manufacturing jobs have gone overseas, there's no manufacturing left. Well, that's simply not true. Manufacturing businesses have gotten much more efficient. There are not as many jobs per employer as there used to be, but at the same time, the manufacturing businesses in North St. Louis County have a significant number of jobs that are here and are significant payroll contributors. So I think we need to pay a little more attention to, first of all, to be aware. Hopefully that's one of the outcomes of this study, to have the opportunity to make people aware of things like the fact that manufacturing, even after the recession, this is post-recession data, even after the recession, manufacturing is a very key component in North St. Louis County. But the other aspect that the study brings out is that the economy of North St. Louis County is diversified. There are retail businesses, office businesses, manufacturing businesses, wholesale. There is a good diverse economy, so the economy of North St. Louis County is very strong and very stable because it's not entirely dependent on one business, one industry.
Yeah, it's changed. You know, people think about manufacturing, and they think about the Ford plant and some of the plants that have left North County. But there still is manufacturing up here, and it's a little bit different. Manufacturing different things now than we have in the past. It's changed into what's being manufactured.
And because those manufacturers were so large and had such a visible footprint, when, for example, the Ford plant closed, which was visible right off of 270, everybody could see it. That helps create that perception that manufacturing has left North St. Louis County. And certainly in comparison to 1950s, 1960s, we don't have the same number of jobs. But again, we should not overlook how strong a sector that still is in 2013 in North St. Louis County.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. In fact, Mark brought up the Ford plant. I mean, with them leaving, we've been able to reclaim that property at this point, and it's being redeveloped into the Aviator Business Park right now. And so that has opened up land that will allow new manufacturers and other business people to utilize close to the airport, which also has great rail service as well. And they just announced that International Food is going to put a warehouse and distribution center there.
Okay.
And that again was
I mean, it's good
another
news.
motivation for doing the kind of products that this study produced, because North St. Louis County, North County Incorporated did not have consolidated into a single document that kind of information, because there are many development opportunities for as many jobs as there are here, and for as much developed land as there are still significant areas with development opportunities. So now North County Incorporated and the Chambers of Commerce, the municipalities in St. Louis, North St. Louis County, hopefully have the tool that they can use to help attract more quality businesses to those development opportunities.
One of the other things, just tying into that, one of the other things I noticed in the report was that the median age of a residence in North County is 18 years old. So that means we have an upcoming labor force as the older people, as the, what you call them, the baby boomers are getting out of the market. We have a ready market up here of young people. And then 85% of those had a high school education, and 28% had a post-secondary school education. So we have an educated population in which to, you know, help the manufacturers, the businesses that are coming up in the future up here.
Well, that's always a critical factor that businesses are looking for. What's the nature of the workforce? So we have a combination of both a large number of jobs that are here, which means that there's a trained workforce, as well as a large population of current workers and potential workers. So in terms of the opportunities that are here, it's not just the land that's available, there's also abundant workforce that can meet the needs of industry.
Yeah.
In our community also, you know, you mentioned assets earlier. Well, one of the assets that we can offer business, the business community, when it comes to training workforce, we have right here in North County, the University of Missouri St. Louis, of course, but also St. Louis Community College, and they have an advanced manufacturing center right on campus, and we also have workforce solutions through the community college, and they can tailor programs specifically for employers to help make sure that they have exactly the type of trained workforce they're looking for. So again, when you, people are coming to a community saying, do you have the workforce and these are my needs, how fast can you train a workforce for me? Our answer is very, very quickly.
Yeah. I noticed also recently some of the colleges are actually putting centers here from, you know, colleges that are even in St. Charles County. Lindenwood has a center here now in Florissant, I believe, for training people. So, you know, they're recognizing that, hey, there is a big, vast potential here in North County.
I think you're right, and I think when they look at our area and they see major employers in the pharmaceutical area as well as in other types of a technology field and things like that, they know that with our potential, we need a very educated and trained workforce.
Right, and as you mentioned earlier, we have one of the best universities in the state of Missouri over in UMSL, and they train in a wide range of disciplines. So, you know, it's
well, and again, hopefully, one of the takeaways from the profile and the study that we did is describing what's current and all the strengths there are today, so that people understand all the opportunity we have here today, but all of these factors related to a strong future. So both of those things are critical for people outside the community looking for opportunities here, but even more so for everybody in the North County area to know and understand those facts so that they can properly represent those facts.
The other thing I noticed in the report, I was looking at the household income, and it was amazing that in North County, the median, which is the middle, household income is $52,458. In St. Louis County, it's
in
St. Louis County, it's $46,262.
Right.
So there's more disposable income or spendable income
Right.
here in North County than there is.
Right. So we have a
in
broad
other areas.
range of facts in this study. If you're a retail industry looking to understand what's the market for disposable income, that type of business is interested in things like the median household income. If you're in healthcare or manufacturing, you're interested in a workforce, so we've got those kind of data. So the report attempted to be comprehensive, looking at all the different factors that a wide range of businesses need to know about North St. Louis County.
I think it's interesting too that the household medium income is so good for the North St. Louis County area, and that's looking at all of North St. Louis County, which tells you our strength. And then we have communities such as yours, the city of Blackjack. Some areas it skews even much higher.
Those individual kinds of data were available, but again, we never before had really pulled the data together to say this is what North St. Louis County looks like, and many of the facts are surprising when you look at all of North St. Louis County.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier about the payroll. I noticed that in the study, the payroll, there's a 29% growth in the payroll in North County from 1999 through 2009, which is phenomenal.
Well, again, one of the things we did was look at trends so that you can, prior to that, the payroll had been somewhat flat, but then, and again, this is post-recession, so things are looking up, looking strong in North St. Louis County. And again, when you look at a number like $8.2 billion, that's a significant amount of money that's paid out by, that's all the employers in North St. Louis County and what they pay out just in payroll to their employees.
Yeah. As far as some of the business in North County, we have a big manufacturing presence, but we also now have a technology presence and a pharmaceutical presence, which is, you know, a change from at least 10 years. As far as the pharmaceutical presence, that's different than we've had in the past, correct? A lot of the businesses are going to health-related and pharmaceutical.
Well, we have businesses that are meeting current needs and businesses that are anticipating future needs. So that's one of the things we wanted to do was create this, as you might say, a baseline study. Because the data for North County had never been pulled together before. We had nothing internally to compare to. How are we really doing here? So the study was set up to, the data were pulled from data sources that can be replicated so that over time, North St. Louis County, North County Incorporated will be able to pull the data again and look at how trends are occurring into the future.
I think it's important to note that although we did lose some large manufacturing in our region, at the same time, as you pointed out, we still have several Fortune 500 companies that call North County home.
The other interesting thing I've seen in the study was they were talking about the population density. And our population density averages 4 persons per acre, and with a $91,000 income density. That's room for a lot of growth. That means there's a lot of area for expansion up here in North County. Isn't that correct, Mark?
Well, yes, again, looking at what the facts are in terms of this is where you have sort of the intersection of the kind of housing stock we have, the development that occurred in North County over the past 50 years or so. There were a lot of housing units that single-family homes is the predominant type of housing, but they are densely built so that in terms of the amount of available dollars there are for purchasing, we really do have opportunity to support a larger retail sector in North County than currently is here.
Okay. Well, as we begin to wrap up here, what is the surprising finding of the data collected What was the surprising finding you had with the data you collected for a
Well,
profile?
among other things, the manufacturing, the fact that manufacturing is so strong, and as you just pointed out, the density of the income, the amount of payroll that's here, the amount of disposable household income that's here. Once we consolidate the data for all of North County, those are big and powerful numbers.
What, since the profile has been put together now, who can use it?
Well, hopefully it will be of use to the local governments in North County. A lot of the data were assembled at a zip code level, so while it might not match specific municipal boundary lines, it can be broken out into smaller subsections of North County so that people have a better idea how they compare within North St. Louis County regarding all of those data. Hopefully the Chamber of Commerce that operate in North County will be able to utilize the data. We've made some presentations to both municipalities and to Chamber of Commerce organizations in North County, even things like schools, if say high schools, people that are studying economics, business, that sort of thing. If they want to really look at data about the community where they are, now the data are available. So.
We have also found that some of our large employers in the community are interested in the information, especially when it comes to attracting more service providers. For instance, I know that one of our local hospitals did a presentation and provided their doctors leadership group with the information, because they too understand the importance of letting people know that there's just so many good assets and the real economic picture for our community.
Okay. Where could, if somebody wants to get a copy of the report, where could they get that at?
Actually, it is available online in a PDF format at northstlouiscounty.com.
It's www.northstlouiscounty.com. Is it all small letters?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't
Well,
matter.
a lot of them do, unfortunately. I've run into that problem, and you know, couldn't get stuff out because of capital and small. What you got a breakfast coming up now? Your annual breakfast. What day is that? And people want information on who can they contact?
Yes, actually, this is our this will be our 36th annual breakfast, and we take the opportunity to recognize different community and economic leaders in the area that are making a difference. It's May 10th. At 7:30 a.m. and reservations are required. So they do need to call the office, and that phone number would be 314-895-6241, or again, they can go to www.northstlouiscounty.com.
Okay, and they can also go, if they want further information about anything on this program, they can go to northstlouiscounty.com and ask a question. I assume you have a link out there?
Yes, you can contact us and we'll answer. We also, for those interested in just seeing the recreational assets and historic assets, things to do around the area, they can also go to explorenorthstlouiscounty.com.
Great. Well, thank you, Mark. It's
Well,
very interesting,
thank you, Norm.
very interesting report, and it'll help North County, I'm sure. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it. Thank you for watching our show this evening. If you have any questions, you can contact me at www.cityofblackjack.com or call me at area code 314-355-0400, extension 100. Thank you. Good evening. Okay.